Navigating IRA timing, fees, and taxes for maximum benefit. Hey everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney and founder of IRA Financial, and welcome to another episode of AdBits. Today's episode, we're going to go through the incredible important benefits of starting an IRA early and focusing on fees. Fees matter. Why? Because you're literally taking money out of your IRA, especially in the case of a self-directed IRA, where you are in charge of the investment decisions. You're not using a financial advisor. You are making your own investment decisions. That is what the name self-directed IRA connotates. Why would you pay more fees than you have to? So I've always been a big proponent of flat fees. I think one of the things I'm most proud about with IRA Financial is that we have flat fees. Whether you have 50K or 50 million, everyone gets the same amazing service, right? The whole concept, again, is we're not making the investment decisions for you. So why should we charge you more because your account grows? Doesn't seem fair or ethical. And that's what a lot of other companies do in the space. And just is maddening to me why people will pay these fees, and just because they don't know. So that's why I'm doing these podcasts, is to educate people that fees matter, right? The extra $700-800 you pay a year over the next 20 years, it's going to add up. That extra 15 grand, it's not just 15 grand, because you'll see the money grows without tax. That's called compounding returns. If you're pulling money out of that IRA to pay for these fees, you're going to strip the value of the IRA. So the most important thing, the three principles for maximizing your retirement savings and generating the highest degree of wealth you can in a tax efficient manner is, number one, you start as early as you can. Okay. And here's the example, right? If you are watching this podcast on YouTube, you're going to see what I'm doing. If you're not, I will describe what I'm doing, but I'm basically showing a calculator online that is going to show what value you'll have in your IRA. And I'm using the Roth as an example based off how much you put in each year and the number of years. So let's just show why timing matters. So let's say you're 21 and you put in $1,000 a year from 21 to 65, assuming an 8% rate of return, you would have $356,949 at age 65. 8% rate of return, 21 to 65, $1,000 a year. If you, instead of 21, you started at 28, okay, and you did 1,000, you'd have 203. So you just lost, $100 and so $1,000 by just literally waiting 7 years. So the earlier you start, the better. Okay. That's one of the easier ways of maximizing benefits, is starting as early as you can. The second is obviously the amount of the contribution, right? If you're 28 and put $1,000 away, you're going to have 203, 28 to 65. But if you put away, instead of 1,000, you put away $3,000 a year, you're going to have 609, right? And that just makes sense. The more money you put away, the earlier you do it, the more money you're going to have at the end. Okay. So far we talked about timing, right? Maximizing benefits, contributions. Okay. Contributions are important. Be consistent. I get it. Not everyone could put away $3,000 a year. Some years are better than others. Get a bigger bonus or whatever happens in your life. Things happen, right? We get it. You have a wedding, or you have a new house to buy, or a new car, or a repair on your roof, and you just need to use some of that extra cash for those expenses. I get it. You just want to do as much as you can. And the whole purpose of this exercise is to show you that the way to maximize benefits in your IRA is, again, to start as early as you can, to put away as much as you can. And also the rate of return matters, right? So here, 28 to 65 years old, $3,000 a year, 8% rate of return, you have 609. If instead of 8%, you get a 9% rate of return, you have 775. Why? Because the money grows without tax. That's known as compounding returns. It makes sense, right? If you earn $100 in a taxable account and pay 20% tax, you're left with $80. And then the growth next year is on the $80. If you invest that in a retirement account, that $100 is not subject to taxation. So then the next year's returns are based off the 100, not the 80, right? So it's simple math. It makes sense to everyone. And that's why the U.S. retirement system is the smartest and best way to save. And that's why there's over $30 trillion in the retirement system, is because it's based off simple mathematics, not even calculus or algebra, like basic math. Your money grows faster when the government doesn't take it, or a percentage of it. So if you want to figure out the best way to navigate IRA timing, fees, and taxes, you want to consider the three things. And the three elements is start as early as you can, put away as much as you can, and generate the highest rate of return, right? Contributions in 2024, 7,000 or 8,000 if you're over 50. If you're in pre-tax, there are some income limitations in terms of how much is deductible. If you make more than essentially 240 grand, married, filed jointly, you're going to have to basically do a Roth IRA. And then you can do what's called a backdoor. Even if you make more than 240, you can still technically do a Roth IRA and still generate benefits. So from a tax standpoint, the pre-tax IRA will give you a tax deduction, okay? But when you pull the money out at 59.5, you're going to pay tax. With a Roth IRA, you don't get that tax benefit up front. You don't get the tax deduction, but so long as you're over 59.5 and the Roth's been open at least 5 years, everything you pull out is tax-free. Okay, so in my estimation, the Roth gives you the greatest tax benefit over the longest period of time. If you're just looking at a current benefit, then obviously the pre-tax IRA gives you a great tax benefit up front by generating a tax deduction, which will lower the amount of tax you will owe to the government. But when you navigate all this and put it all together, I always tell clients or family, friends, or just people I talk to when I'm writing books and speaking to people, giving classes, is focus on the three following things, right? Start as early as you can, be consistent, right? That's why I like using this example. Even if you can't do 3,000 a year, if you do 1,500 a year, 1,200 a year, $100 a month, it still adds up. 28 to, let's just do 73 years old, okay? Assuming a 9% rate of return, $631,000 for just doing $1,200 a year. And I'm not even assuming that you're going to put away more money as your income increases, right? I'm just saying from 28 to 73, $1,200 a year, $100 a month, which I think a lot of us can put away. That's $631,000 when you retire tax-free if it's in a Roth. Let's say instead of 28, you start at 24. You're at 896, right? So again, going to my point, earlier you start, better you're going to be. Consistent. Even if it's just $1,200 a year, it adds up. Who wouldn't take $896,000 tax-free when they retire? For doing nothing, right? For putting away $1,200 a year. Just being consistent. Now, it's hard because we're kind of programmed to seek quick wins, right? Whether it's gambling, stock market, business. I'm going to invest in this, the next ChatGPT, the next YouTube, the next Google, and I'm going to be a billionaire next week. No, in order to get rich in the U.S. retirement system, you need patience. The good news is it's guaranteed to work, right? Barring any, horrible type of, Enron, Bear Stearns, Silicon Valley Bank investment. But assuming you're just diversifying, you're doing some equities, you can do real estate, or you're just not doing anything crazy like buying, Venezuela bonds or anything super aggressive. Over a 30, 40-year period, you're going to average between 8 to 10%, right? The S&P 500 over the last 100 years is average over 10% a year. So if you just estimate the next 30 to 40 years of your life, I think it's fair to say, between 8 and 10%, you should be in that sweet spot. And if you just put away the amount each year and be consistent and just be patient and trust the process, you will have wealth. I've seen it with my clients over the last 15 years. I've seen it with my parents, seen it with myself, right? I started as a lawyer at age 26. Now I'm almost 50. So it's like 23 years of maxing out my retirement account each year. And, I got a lot of money in my retirement account. And yeah, I've done some good investments. I put a bunch in cryptos, which, really hit. I have real estate, I have gold. I've done some venture capital, private investments. I've done everything, but I also have equities and ETFs. And it just over the years, I probably averaged, when you average everything together, like almost 15%. But even if you take away something like the big crypto wins, probably closer to like 10 or 11% over the last 23, 24 years. So just simple math. Instead of a 9% rate of return, imagine you get an 11% rate of return, right? Now you have 1.8 million. So three things: put away as much as you can, start as early as you can, and try to generate as highest rate of return. That's why people like alts, right? That's why IRA Financial exists. That's why the self-directed industry exists, because if you want to get the alpha and maximize benefits, doing alternatives will give you the biggest rewards. That's why if you look at the Forbes, top 100 richest people, they're generally invested in alternative assets like hedge funds, private equity funds, venture capital funds. There are the Warren Buffetts, but most of the guys on the top 100 are alternative asset investors. Okay, so and there's a reason. There is downside, right? And there is a long-term horizon. A lot of private equity funds are 7-year holds, 10-year holds. But if you can be patient, trust the process, start as early as you can, and be consistent, you are going to be able to brilliantly navigate IRA timing. Watch the fees. Fees matter even in traditional investments. Watch what you're paying these promoters, these managers. Watch for hidden fees, especially if you're doing gold. A lot of these gold sellers aren't regulated. Make sure you know what you're paying commission-wise. Obviously, taxes. When you make contributions, you have to decide, do you want to get a deduction or not? And then when you pull the money out, if you're doing a Roth, make sure you could at least wait till you're 59 and a half and the Roth's been open 5 years. If you have a pre-tax IRA, you want to wait till at least 59 and a half so you don't have to pay tax and a 10% penalty. So the easiest way, again, to navigate the timing fees and taxes is start early, be consistent, trust the process, maximize the amount you contribute each year, be smart, diversify, and you are going to be a tax-free millionaire when you retire. It's almost guaranteed. I can't guarantee anything, but based off math, so long as you don't do anything stupid, you will have millions plus in a retirement account by just being smart and obviously understanding the rules, which is what I'm doing here, why I love doing these podcasts, why I do videos and blogs, and I've written 9 books, is it's not a zero-sum game. We all can get rich from the U.S. retirement system. It's not like, oh, only 20% of the population get rich. No, we all could. We just need to follow these 3 principles. Again, just the last time I'll say it. Start as early as you can, be consistent, trust the process. It's going to work, I promise. That's it. Hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Appreciate all the support. If you have a comment, question, leave it. Love hearing from you. If you have a suggestion for a future AdBits podcast, share it in the comments. You can email us at info@IRA Financial. Just say AdBits topic, or Adam, can you just do a podcast about X, Y, or Z? I will do it. I promise. I've been married, 17 years. I'm good at listening. So that's it. Have a great day, and I hope to see everyone again next week. Ciao.